Detroit Den 313. Stephen Will, we are back talking that Detroit Lions football. Before we get started, you know what to do. Bang that subscribe button. Do not forget the bell icon so you don't miss any of our new content. Steve, what we talking about?
Well, it's more of a question. It's more of a question we have for people. All offseason, the last couple of weeks, a lot of talk's been heating up about how the Detroit Lions need an X-type wide receiver. And then you and I were talking last night after we did the live stream that was absolutely phenomenal. A+, had a blast. Looking forward to our next one. We got off.
Yeah.
Just you and me were talking, and I think it was you came up with it and said, do the Detroit Lions really need to draft an X receiver, or do we already have one on this team? That being Jameson Williams.
Yeah, I think it's a valid question, man. It's something I've thought about. So I guess I'll toss it at you first, man. What do you think? Do we think we need an X, or do you think Jamo can play that X?
I don't think an X receiver is a pressing need. I don't. I think our offense, even if you take away Josh Reynolds, you throw in Donovan Peoples-Jones. Is it a little bit of a downgrade? Yes. Is it that big of a downgrade that I need to go out and draft a receiver in round one? I don't think so. I think we have a lot of mouths to feed on this offense. I don't think drafting a receiver is not as big of a luxury as it was just less than a week ago with the Cam Sutton stuff going on. You know, if the Cam Sutton thing, if we're living in fantasy land and that never happened, it's more of a realistic option. But I think as it sits today, we can throw Jamo at that X. We can go out in first round, draft a cornerback, defensive end, call it a day. Maybe get a receiver later in the draft. I don't think it's a pressing need.
So my immediate question off of that would be, what do you contribute our lack of being able to score in second halves to?
I put that on coaching. I 100% put that on coaching. And I'll tell you, I've done the numbers. For those of you who haven't heard it, I sat down one day. I went through all of the box scores throughout the whole season, and I added up how many points the Detroit Lions scored in the third quarter alone. And on average, it was just over 4 points. I still have it here. I believe there was 3 straight games, 3 weeks in a row early in the season when we weren't facing the best competition. I can't remember which weeks. If I can shuffle back a little bit, 3 weeks in a row, we scored 0 points in the third quarter. Is that an offensive problem, or is that not an adjustment being made in the second half? I think it's someone not making adjustments. So who's that on? It's not on the offense. They can only call the plays that get called into them, correct?
I disagree, but
to what extent?
I track where you're going with it. I've said it before, and I still believe it, man. I can't 100% hang my hat on it being Ben, because I can't say that this dude is a genius and then in the same breath say that it's a guy that can't adjust to third quarters. So, and he's been able to do it prior to last season. He didn't have the struggles before that. So to me, I think that it's 50-50. Like I said before, man, I got to give 50% of that to Jared Goff. I need Jared Goff as a veteran in this league to be able to get us into good looks, bottom line. So in those third quarters, I need Jared Goff to be able to go out and make plays, identify coverages, get us, check out, which worries me because of what Sean McVay said about him. Sean McVay has noted that this is something that Jared Goff can't do. And I'm not coming on here to throw shade at Jared Goff. I'm just leaving a paper trail, right? So we struggle in third quarters. We struggle with adjustments, but Sean has said about Jared Goff, there's some things there to where he needs to have that running game and he needs to have that play action pass. He is not the guy that is going to be improvising and making things happen. He's more of a guy that is going to, and I don't want to call him a game manager because I don't want to insult him, man. I think that he's more than a game manager. I think that he's again, before people start coming at me, I'm a Jared Goff fan, and I think that Jared Goff is a good quarterback. I think that he's good. I think that he's above average. I think he's better than most. I think that he is just not elite. He's just below it, though. He's right there. He's knocking on the door of elite, but he's just below that elite mark. So I think that it's a little bit of that Jared Goff stuff coming out. I think that if you give Ben a different quarterback that is elite, I think that you don't see those third quarter woes. So still, I got to give it 50-50 because Ben's got to adjust to what he has, and we got to, as a group, work through that. But I'm not just going to hang it on Ben Johnson.
I'm not saying it's 100% his fault. Goff's got a little piece of the pie he's got to eat too. But I'm looking at it while you're talking. I pulled it up. It was weeks 3, 4, and 5. That was against Atlanta, Green Bay, Carolina. 0 points scored in the third quarter. Now, those aren't high-end opponents. I know Green Bay got hot. They got hot later in the season, but at that time, I think the Packers were 2-2. They weren't setting the world on fire. They got a little hot. We went in there and dominated them in the first half. 0 points in the third quarter against Atlanta. They're picking in the top 10. 0 points scored in the third quarter against Carolina. They technically have the number 1 pick, even though it belongs to Chicago. Those are not good teams. 3 weeks in a row shut out in the third. Goff deserves a little slice of that pie. You're the offense. You're the captain of the offense. You're the quarterback. You know, you get all the glory and you get all the hate when things aren't going well. You get a little bit too, but it was just a consistent problem all season. 4 points a game average through 20 games. That's bad.
Yeah, and it just makes me wonder, man, is that where you find the things that we're missing? Is that where you can get a scramble for a first down mixed in there? Is that where you can get one of those improvisational throws? You know what I mean? Like guys coming at him, he's scrambling around, he's making stuff happen. Again, I'm not looking for, as you call him, Jared Vick. I'm not looking for Jared
Vanilla Vick.
Or Vanilla. I'm not looking for Vanilla Vic, but I'm just looking for a guy that can extend plays and make things happen. I don't care if you're running around in circles back there in a pocket, just extending those plays and getting plays done downfield. I need a guy that can identify the coverage, hit a guy in the spot. Like there's not a reason why we should be going through a season averaging 4 points in third quarters if you are an elite veteran quarterback. I don't believe we would have got that out of the Drew Breeses of the world. You know what I mean? I don't think that we're going to get that if we go through and look. I haven't looked at the numbers, so this is me confidently saying it. I don't think you're going to look and see that out of the Brock Purdy's of the world. You know what I mean? Like I need him to be able to go out and find us first downs and find us field goals and find us points in third quarters. We can't just disappear. And to me, if we didn't disappear in the third quarter of the NFC Championship game, we're in the Super Bowl.
You know how many points we scored in the third quarter of that game? 0. Also 0. A 0 in that game too. Yeah, and that was the quarter that we probably cost us that game. We fell apart offensively, defensively. That's not a Ben Johnson. That's a whole team problem. That was everything that went wrong could have went wrong. And real quick, I'm not going to cry about spilled milk about the 3 weeks we scored 0 points, because in that span we went 3-0. But I think if we lost, I mean, I don't want to live in the world where we lost those games, but if we did, we'd probably be talking about that third quarter a lot more.
Yeah, it'd be a bigger deal, man. And I think that we would be talking about Jared Goff a little bit more than we do, because we won those games. But the bottom line, and what I truly believe, is this: in every sport, you want tough plays. I don't want you to have easy plays. I don't want you to scramble around, find somebody wide open, dump on the ball, and then they go run for a first down. I want you to thread the needle through 2 defenders, have them catch it, and have to secure the ball while a guy's punching at it. And I want you to have to do that over and over and over again. And when you elevate the magnitude of that moment, it's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. We've seen Amon-Ra St. Brown struggle in moments to secure the ball and make those tough plays. It's a hard thing to do every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Saturday night, whenever we're playing. Prime time a lot, because that's what
Monday
we do
night, baby.
You know what I mean? But it's hard to make those plays all the time. You need a guy to get you into easy plays. And that's what my concern is. So backtracking to what we're really here to talk about, Jamo, I think that what worries me about Jamo playing that X position is this.
Real quick, can I ask you a question? Just for what, as a coach, what is the responsibility of an X receiver?
So to me, it's to play outside and win one-on-one matchups. You got to be able to make that safety leak out of that box and cover over the top of you. You got to know, to me, if you are a dominant X, right? If you are CeeDee Lamb, if you are Justin Jefferson, if you are Jamar Chase, you have to be a guy that makes that safety leave and be responsible for if you're going vertical all the time. It makes things a lot easier. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm talking about an X receiver. I'm not just talking about any X, any old guy. I'm not talking about a jag, as Steve Smith says, just a guy. I'm talking about somebody that is
this isn't a role for like Khalif Raymond. Is what we're kind of hitting at.
You need a guy that is going to win one-on-one matchups a lot of the time. So the only thing that I worry about with Jamo is people getting physical with him off the line of scrimmage. Right. That's the only thing that would shy me away from Jamo playing that X position. If a guy gets up and gets physical with him, sometimes that gives him issues. Now you're playing a game. You're playing a game there. If he gets you off the line of scrimmage, night, night, right?
If
So
Goff can hit him, it's night.
yeah, right. So it is a dangerous game. Or are you still taking that safety over there to help? And then we got opportunities up underneath with our dogs, with Laporta, with St. Brown, and even Raymond. Can get under there and find some openings. But that is my worry about Jamo. Can he win constantly that one-on-one matchup if guys come up, press up, and get physical with him? Can his slender frame, his Devonta Smith type style frame win? Because to me, right now, a lot of the time, Jamo is a guy that I want to put in motion. Jamo is a guy that I want to have in bunch formation so you can't get up there and comfortably press him. He's not really a guy that I trust yet. If a team has their Carlton Davis out there, right? Their Marshawn Lattimore, right? Sauce Gardner, Patrick Surtain, the list goes on. If they got their guys out there to press up and play that lock man, can you get off of a strong jam? And I haven't seen that yet out of his game consistently.
We've defended Jameson Williams quite a bit.
100%.
I still think that this past season was kind of his rookie year. His actual rookie year, 2022, he only played in 6 games. Only had 1 reception for 9 yards. No, 9 targets. This can't be right. ESPN's got to be wrong. But anyways,
right. That's right.
He only had 1 catch. He only had the 1 touchdown catch.
Yeah, in 2022.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. I'm so thrown off by these numbers that I actually thought that was wrong. I was like, 1 catch, that can't be right. And we were at the game against Minnesota. You've got to get him the ball. I've been saying this all year. What he does with the ball is you hold your breath. You don't know where it's going. So let's just look at 2023. 24 receptions, 3 carries for a total of 3 touchdowns. 24 receptions plus 3 carries. 27 times he touched the ball. 3 touchdowns. That's a touchdown every 9 touches, if my public school math is correct there. So why are we not getting him the ball at least 4 or 5 times a game? I'm not going to say he's going to score every time. I know those numbers will get watered down. I understand, but every 9 times you touch a ball, you score. Like, we got to get him the ball. He's a weapon that we don't even use. I like your point about the X receiver. Can he win those one-on-ones enough? He's got the speed. Is he overly physical? No, he's 6'1", $190, soaking wet with a brick in his pocket. He's not a mauler. He's not he's not an overly physical wide receiver, but he has elite speed. He's probably one of the top 5 fastest receivers in the league until Xavier Worthy gets here. Then we might have a discussion about where he ranks. But when you get him the ball, he could score from any point on the field. Hit him on a bubble screen, hit him on a end around, or reverse, like we saw in the NFC Championship game. He could take it to the house. He can run through some tackles. If you don't actually line up and tackle him, you're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. But I just don't think we're using his speed. It's a good question about the X receiver because he's not a physical type. I like how he blocks, but is he going to go out there, line up one-on-one in an island and be able to beat some of the best corners in the NFL who are physical? I don't know about that, but I'm at least willing to try. I'm at least willing to see, like, what's the harm? If it's not working out after 4 or 5 games, you just go back to the offense you were doing last year. I mean, it's not that big of a wrinkle.
Yeah, I just think that we're going to have struggles because although Josh Reynolds didn't have the speed, he could win those one-on-one matchups, right? He did have a way to be able to be slippery, slimy, and get off that line of scrimmage, get his release, and be able to get open. So I don't see Jamo getting good, clean releases consistently against press man. I didn't see it in college, and I don't see it in the NFL yet. Not to say that it's not going to happen, right? But I still haven't seen it consistently. So playing him on the outside is a concern for me. And I'm just wondering what we're going to do if we don't have somebody to put out there. Is it going to be Donovan Peoples-Jones? Now we got Jamo playing in the slot, because here's my other thing. When you break down the numbers too, looking on PFF, right? Last year we were in 11 personnel and 12 personnel over 80% of the time, right? So that means we had a 2 receiver set, right? And then we had 3 receivers on the field, right? He's not going to be a lot of the time that slot receiver. That slot receiver is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown, correct?
Yep.
So he's going to have to be on one of those outsides. Can he beat press man at either of those positions on the outside? That's a worry for me consistently. Another thing, and people feel free to come for me because I will preface this with this. I love Jamo. I like his game. I think that he can be a dynamic threat at any moment of a football game. But I don't understand this Detroit allegiance to Jamo like he is the greatest thing since sliced bread when he hasn't truly did anything. Just like you said, 2022, I got the numbers right here as well. 1 reception, 41 yards and a touchdown where he ran across the whole field. And I think I ran around too because I was so excited, right?
That was the Minnesota Vikings game. I remember
Yes, sir.
I was at that one. You didn't have tickets back then.
Slapping guys 5, kissing them babies. Like it was awesome, right?
And the best part, I was at that game with the Vikings fan. So that makes it sweeter for me.
That makes it even better. That makes it even better. But then fast forwarding to 2023, where we have this strong allegiance. We can't trade Jamo. It's crazy. Jamo's great. Blah, 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 blah. The list goes on, right? 24 receptions for 354 yards. 24 receptions for 354 yards in 12 games. I don't understand this and we were in an NFC championship game. So I don't understand. It wasn't because of Jamo's production that we were in an NFC championship game.
No, right? He was a luxury piece.
He is a luxury piece. Now, am I saying that we need to get rid of Jamo? No. Am I saying that Jamo does not have the ability to be able to do some great things on a football field? I think that he can, right? But to me, Jamo is a fast guy that can take the roof off currently. He's not a guy that is going to go out and play X and going to be your Justin Jefferson right now. So what is this crazy allegiance to this dude? Like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he's shown that he can be a dominant number 1 receiver. Our number 1 guy is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Right now, do I hope that Jamo can do all of the things? And do I think that he has the athletic ability to be able to do them? Absolutely. Right. But go out on the field and prove it. Do I think right now, currently, that he can play that X position? He's got to show me. He's got to show me because guys are going to game plan for you out there on that X. Right. And you're going to have to beat man-to-man coverage. If you're playing my X, go get me fade balls and go score me touchdowns in the goal line. Be an impact player. Right. We can't just have a bunch of guys running underneath, catching screen balls, hoping that you run them for touchdowns. This is the NFL. Everybody's fast. You got D linemen running 4.5s. You got D tackles running 4.9s and 4.8s. People are fast out there. You're not just going to throw screen balls and score touchdowns. You see what Max Crosby did to him when he was trying to take a jet sweep. He almost killed him. So
well, Max Crosby's he's in that elite category. So
I get it.
I'll give you a break.
I get it, but it wasn't even about Max Crosby being elite in that moment. It was about his film study. He knew what the play was as soon as he seen Jamo come across the motion, and he literally hopped outside and met him at the play, right? So
almost took the handoff.
Yeah, so it's about preparation. Love Jamo. I think that he's an elite talent, but he has to take that talent to the next level and prepare for this season. First things first, getting releases. If he learns how to get releases off the line of scrimmage, he's going to be an absolute problem. If he doesn't, he's going to be Deshaun Jackson. He's going to be a guy you're sending in motion and you're making sure people don't get hands on him, and then you're sending him down the field to take the roof off and have a handful of big plays throughout the season so people enjoy him, but he's not the Justin Jeffersons. He's not even the Devonta Smiths, the elite route runners. That's what I want to see. Show me your elite, get releases, show me fluidity, show me precise route running, and then I will tip my hat to you, Jamo. Until then, you're just a super fast dude with a elite talent.
Yeah, I don't think he's elite at anything other than his speed. I don't think he's an elite pass catcher. I don't think he's an elite route runner. He's not in the top tier of physicality of wide receivers. He's just really, really fast. So that's what we have. I mean, you don't have to like that we have him. You don't have to love it. You just have to accept that he's what we have on our team. Okay. How do you work into his strengths? By getting him the ball. He might not be able to beat receivers, on slant routes often with huge separation, but I can hit him on a bubble screen. I can get him some, you're familiar with the Josh Gaddis speed and space. That's how we got to get him the ball. Give him the ball. Let him make some guys miss. We've seen that. Denver Broncos games. He got the ball with a little cushion, made a guy miss, gained an extra 10 yards. That's how he's going to get his yardage. That's how he's going to be successful in the NFL. Using that speed on end arounds. We saw NFC Championship game. He took one, 50 yards, opening drive, touchdown. You just got to get him the ball. I don't think he's ever going to be like a 8, 9, 10 catches per game type of receiver. He's just going to be someone I have to find out how to get him the ball 5 or 6 times a game. If that's passing, handing it off to him, I don't know. But can he play the X? I don't know. It's a good conversation. It's a good topic. Good question to ask. So for you guys who are listening, leave it in the comments. What do you think? Do you think he has the physicality to win those one-on-one matchups, or do we have to go another route? Leave it in the comments. If you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe, stick around. We'll be back later with some more content.
Peace.